The longer I live on this planet, the longer I feel that where we are today, this technical, modern world of improvements and convenience is leading us in the wrong direction. I mean, not only, of course, have we all discovered that we've been lied to left, right and centre, we've been manipulated, we've been treated as if we were, well, scum most of the time, that the people that we elect to govern us and to help us to administer the things we need, turns out that they're all psychopaths and they're villains, murderers and kiddie fiddlers. And not only that, that we've misunderstood the way the bankers and the authority figures have operated, believing that government, councils are there to assist us and not realise that they've secretly incorporated the councils and the government as for-profit businesses. That when you vote, you're voting for a corporation, which may as well be any other business, you know, a well-known hamburger store or an online retailer that provides you with everything. When you vote, you're voting for a corporation to look after you, not realising, of course, that the corporation is purely there to make money from you. So not only have we been lied to, but we've been pushed ever more into a world which is all profit-based, this extreme capitalism, a world in which profit first, humanity second. I marvel often when I'm perhaps talking to a utility company and you ask them why they're charging you certain things, when if you are a new customer, you're getting a discount. And you say to them, but I've been with you for 20 years. Does loyalty not count for anything? No, sir, it's just policy. It's policy that drives this strange world. Policy within corporations. And we're continually being lied to about what's going on in the world through mainstream media and what our role is supposed to be. Our bankers have lied to us about when we deposit money into the bank, thinking that it's our money, only to discover you can't get it out when you want, in cash particularly, because it's suddenly their money. It's all in the terms and conditions of another corporation that is for profit. Everything is about money and about making profit. And we've been pushed into these towns and villages and into these houses which contain more artificial materials than anything else, that real materials, living and breathing wood, you might say wood is dead, but it was living and breathing, that is part of the genetic makeup of the world, is removed, as everything now is plastic or artificial and not real. The chairs we sit on are synthetic, the floors are synthetic, they're not real, and we're losing our connection with Mother Earth. And I think this is deliberate. I think this technical, modern, industrial world is pushing us further. And now we realise, I think more than any other time, how much on the brink we are, with the banks wanting to push in CBDCs, the central bank digital currency, with governments and authority wanting to bribe us to have chips inside our bodies so that that's the way we'll get paid in the future. You'll get 2,000 euros or whatever it is if you take this chip and put it under your skin, some form of control. And we've seen how these governments and authority figures, the people that we've actually trusted with our lives, have turned their backs on us and have decided to push us into having medical treatments that we don't need, supplying us with medical substances because they don't want you to use natural substances. We've seen how we've been cheated, lied constantly. The mainstream media, of course, lies all the time. We're looking around at the moment chasing shadows, not sure who is real and who is genuine and who is controlled opposition or a shill. Words that I had never really understood or knew what it meant. But now, being here on YouTube with my head above the parapet, I'm having to understand, as people say, I am such a shill, a Pied Piper leading people, apparently, down a path which I had no intention or no knowledge of, I should say, of what that path is. And it's supposed to be a bad path, I believe. Who knows? So my notion of where we are, the longer I've been living here, of these bad things, the things that are in the water, the things that are in the air, the toxins that are in the food, the highly processed rubbish that high industrial farming has pushed towards us. And we're separated from Mother Earth and the old ways, the old, which seems to me to be more natural and in tune with being a human. And I'm not very happy with where we're being led and where we're being pushed in these 15-minute cities, in this nonsense to control us, in this ever more idea to keep us inside under artificial light in front of screens, relying on phones, so that the phone is your only sense of communication and your only way of purchasing things, because your money is going to be, whether it be in some form of crypto or whether it be in some form of, I don't know, some service app on your phone. And yet, if you have a precious metal that you can have a transaction in the private, then nobody need know about it. And it's what you and the other person in the private does that has a meaningful sense in your transaction. But no, there has to be this surveillance state where cameras are everywhere and everything you do, your DNA is being sought, your biometrics are being recorded, your gait, how you move, is being kept on a central computer so that you can be spied on. Your phones can be turned on when you least expect it and somebody listening into your conversation. This is not a world that I want to be in. It's not a world fit for real human beings, for people who want to thrive and enjoy life, to love, to have communication with one another, to hug, to kiss, to embrace, to laugh, to cry, and share a world of knowledge. This is not the world that I feel I particularly want to be in. We're being pushed into that with ever more psychological thinking and nudges that this is what we want, with these shiny trinkets, that we can have this for so little money. Buy now, pay later. This is so convenient. I think we've lost hugely our connection with Mother Earth, and I think we need to return. I think we need, at this stage, a root and branch return to the fields and the wisdom of the fields. H.M. Massingham wrote a book, I think in the 1940s, called Wisdom of the Fields. I've got it on my shelf somewhere. And I read it on my channel, funnily enough, a few years ago during the lockdown as a form of entertainment. The Wisdom of the Fields teaches us that we are people who need to be outside, growing food, having natural conversations with real people, eating organic, healthy produce, being outside in the sunshine, doing honest toil to satisfy our needs as people, developing our gatherings of people and helping one another, loving one another, and being in, I don't want to use the word community because it has its association with communes and communism and things like that. Words are so loaded. Villages of people doing natural, wholesome things, slowly, outside with one another. I think we've been pushed into this convenient world of sitting inside, sedentary, not doing very much, with professions which I honestly don't know what we need them for. Professions like, I don't know, these telephone sales nonsense, insurance, solicitors, these businesses of services that just have no real meaning or intrinsic value. Planting a seed in the ground, nurturing it until it becomes food, harvesting it, preparing that food with other people is to me absolutely the fundamentals of life. Enjoying the elements, yes, sheltering when it is cold and wet, but embracing the sun when it is warm and fine. Slowing down, having aimless conversations, taking life more gently, enjoying the seasons, watching animals and wildlife, understanding plants and trees and the surrounding world around you, instead of these awful 15-minute everything within your need, here it is, artificial buildings, asphalt, concrete, glass, steel, all of this housing us in, not releasing us and lowering our vibrations so that we can't ascend and enjoy life for what it really is. I'm not sure I want to continue in the direction that we're going. In fact, I'm certain I don't. And so I need to find a piece of land big enough, not just for myself, not just for my partner, Julia, and her children. I would like to find land in which many people can come and join me and others and keep animals, not with all the stupid restrictions and red tape that the government and the authority figures want to have on us. No, to keep animals, to grow real plants, vegetables, trees, fruit, under our own agreed regime, our own ideas, rather than those that are being dictated to us by some for-profit corporation who wants to continually get money. And remember, these corporations are dead entities. The people who run them are employees of them. The dead entities are just on paper. They don't exist in the real world. These corporations are not real. We allow them to trade and make a profit, and on a balance sheet somewhere and on some register on like Dun and Bradstreet, they exist in not a real sense. We've created this monster, these non-entity things that are governing our lives. But we are real living men and women. We breathe the air. We have blood chasing through our body. We laugh and we love, and we have a spiritual sense to us, unlike these dead corporations. And that's what I want to get away to, turning my back on this nonsense that we've created, this legal fiction of names in capitals that these corporations want to identify with. I want to live with my fellow man and woman and children in a more wholesome, holistic and genuine, honourable way. Somehow, that is what we've got to get back to if we are ever to survive.